Hey guys, how y'all doing? We are back with yet another video, and I'm just summing up the Call of Duty Championships weekend, and I'm going to mention, I guess, 3 or 4 of the upsets that may have happened, some noteworthy things, and yeah, let's just get right into it. So, first of all, who made it out of each group, and what were some of the upsets? So, Group A makes it out Strictly Business and Vitality Returns. Group B, Complexity and Vex Revenge. Group C, TK and Wild Gaming. Group D, and here's one of the upsets that happened, kind of. Trident T1 Daughters beats FaZe in pool play, which is something nobody was expecting. Trident T1 Daughters, a pretty good European team, not European, what am I saying, Australian team, but I don't think anybody was expecting them to beat FaZe. But yeah, they beat FaZe, so they made it out with seed number 1 out of the pool play. FaZe came out as seed number 2. Group E, another one of the interesting ones. Envious and Immunity made it out, but there was actually a 3-way tie between Envious, Immunity, and TEC. So they all had to play each other, if I'm not mistaken, in an SND, and whoever came out with the best scores moved on as the 2 seeds. So Envious and Immunity made it out of Group E. Group F, Rise Nation and Vitality Rises. Group G, Epsilon and Optic Gaming. And Group H, Xfinity and TCM Gaming. And let's just get, I guess, right into bracket play. Now, everybody was saying, you know, Optic is going to get an easy bracket, do it live. And actually, Optic got a pretty hard bracket, but I'll start at, I guess, the top of the bracket. Trident T1 Daughters made a pretty good run. Nobody was expecting them to do this well, but they ended up getting 5th, if I'm not mistaken, which is $70,000. So, a pretty crazy amount of money. But they beat Vitality Returns. They beat Rise Nation, got knocked down by Optic Gaming in round 3 of winners, and then who did they lose to? They knocked down, and they had to play Envious, and Envious beat them 3-0. So they get 5th place. Pretty good. I mean, nobody was expecting them to do this well. A pretty amazing upset, and I think they didn't lose any SNDs except to Envious. So that's pretty crazy. They're a really, really good SND team, apparently. So we'll have to watch out for them in the future. So yeah. Congratulations to Trident T1 Daughters making it top 6. Second thing to mention, this is probably one of the biggest upsets of the weekend, Optic Gaming. Their bracket, I think, was one of the hardest ones. After everybody saying it was going to be rigged, it's going to be rigged for Optic, Optic Illuminati. They get matched up against TK. Everybody's saying, rip Optic, bye-bye Optic, you know, good luck Optic, blah blah. They beat TK 3-0, which is, I mean, maybe some people were expecting them to beat TK. I can almost guarantee you nobody was expecting a 3-0. That was just completely insane. So they knocked down TK to the losers bracket. We'll get to that later. Then, second round, they have to play Strictly Business, the US Regionals champions. They beat them 3-2. I think they won map 1 and 2, lost 3 and 4, and won the 5th map if I'm not mistaken. So that, again, really, really crazy. I don't think people were really expecting that. Again, people were saying, good luck Optic, you had a good run, blah blah blah. They beat Strictly Business. Then they played against Trident T1 Daughters. They lost their SND, but other than that, 3-1. Then they played Complexity. So TK, Strictly Business, Trident, and Complexity. 3 of those teams were in the top 4 for the regionals. So pretty difficult bracket. So they went, Complexity beat them on first map domination. Then they beat Complexity on SND. They beat them on Blitz. Scump came in with a huge cap at the end, which kept them in the game. And then I think they lost map 4, even after they had a 17-point lead on Sovereign on one side. Everybody was, I think, expecting them to win that, and then they choked on that, sadly, and they lost SND, so they went down to losers. Complexity moves on to winners bracket finals. I don't think that was really a surprise to anybody, really. And then the I guess other thing to mention, Envious. So they go down first round to Strictly Business 3-1. And here's where their crazy run started. So they get matched up against TK, which had been knocked down by Optic. And here people were saying like, oh, I'm sorry Optic, you know, I like you and all. Not, what am I saying, Optic? They're playing against TK, and everybody was like saying, you know, TK's good team, Envious, we like you, but I mean, it's TK, they've placed top 4 so many times. Envious beats TK 3-2. By the way, sorry about the garage door. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but I can't really do anything about that, sorry. But they beat TK 3-2. Then, that was a surprise. TK did not place, I think they placed top 12, which I mean, actually, did they place top 12 even? I'm not even sure. But, I mean, TK, they placed top 4 the entire year. And then comes champs, and they don't make it out. I mean, I feel so bad for them. But then here's where EnVyUs's run started. They then beat Epsilon Esports, beat them 3-2. Then I think that's also where their crazy, I guess, run started, because I don't think they lost a single map until they actually ended up playing Optic. They lost 2 maps to Epsilon, but after that, I don't think they lost. I think when they played Optic, they were 11 straight wins. So that's a pretty crazy run. So they beat Vex. They beat Vex 3-0. Then they beat Trident T1 Daughters 3-0. They're the first team that actually took an SND off Trident T1 Daughters. Trident T1 Daughters had not lost a single SND that tournament. Then they go up against Strictly Business, and here's when people just said, bye EnVyUs, that's it, Strictly Business, EnVyUs, they're both good teams. They beat Strictly Business 3-0. I mean, maybe some people again were expecting a win from EnVyUs, but again, 3-0, pretty crazy. Then Optic had gotten knocked down by Complexity. This is losers bracket finals. They beat Optic 3-1. Pretty close games. I mean, they had to replay Blitz, if I'm not mistaken, and again, really close games. Then they went on to play Complexity in the final, and that was just the end of their run. Complexity beat them 3-0. Complexity, I mean, they've won. I'm not even sure actually, but it's just an insane run. Karma's a back-to-back champion. That's pretty crazy. That's 2 rings and over $200,000 that he himself has won in about a span of 2 years. I mean, the things that guy's done are just amazing, and the Complexity themselves. The finals weren't that interesting to me, honestly. I think there were so many matches in the tournament that were so much more exciting. But, the best team won. I hope they would have at least made it maybe a best of 7 instead of best of 5, because maybe then, I still think Complexity would have taken it, but maybe EnVyUs could have taken a couple of maps, maybe 1 or 2. But yeah, a 3-0 by Complexity to EnVyUs, and they are the Call of Duty champions, so congratulations to them. They earned it, I mean. And I guess some other noteworthy things to add about this. The top 3, which were Complexity, then EnVyUs second, and Optic Gaming third. All these 3 teams, no matter who won, had it been Optic, EnVyUs, or Complexity, either Merc, Nadeshot, or Karma gets to say they've won a championship 2 times. So that in itself is pretty cool. Merc and Nadeshot won XP, and Karma won last year, obviously. So that was pretty cool. Merc and Nadeshot are now the only 2 players who have placed top 3 in all 3 Call of Duty championships. That's a pretty cool thing to have to your name, I guess. So congratulations to them on that as well. Optic Gaming, I think, for me, that was probably one of the biggest upsets, because I don't think anybody was expecting them to do this well. People were expecting them 7th or 8th, maybe 6th. And again, my predictions were actually fucking awful, apparently. I'll read off the top 8. Complexity first, $400,000. EnVyUs at 2nd place with $200,000. Optic Gaming 3rd place with $120,000. Strictly Business in 4th place with $100,000. Trident T1 Daughters in 5th place with $70,000. Face in 6th place with $50,000. Rise in 7th place with $35,000. And Vex Revenge in 8th place with $25,000. So again, this was a crazy championships. So many upsets. I was very entertained watching a lot of these series because it was just so close. I have to give it to Nameless, like an MVP. Nameless went so clutch the entire tournament. I mean, so many 3-1s that he won. It was insane. It was like, I have to give props to the dude. He played his heart out. So those are your top 8 teams. That's kind of a summary of what happened this weekend at the Call of Duty Championships. I don't know if any of the VODs are going to be uploaded. I hope they will. And I guess another thing that I found cool, 3 of the top 4 teams were in the top 4 last year. I mean, last year was Complexity in 4th, Optic 3rd, EnVyUs 2nd. Again, pretty cool coincidence. Optic got 3rd last year and EnVyUs got 2nd. And last year Impact won, but this year we have no Impact, so I guess Strictly Business and Replacement, but they got 4th. So I'm going to end off the video there. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I might be doing some more of these competitive videos because it's something that I enjoy, and you know, who knows, some of you might enjoy them as well. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. See you guys.